Is misha mori gwir as cahar na marth conduio, ach anish Tommy Goni Birmingham. My name is Marion Dwyer and I am the Cahirlach. I'm chair of Comhaltas Cheoil in Midland region here in England. And we have 8 branches of Comhaltas. In this series of short programmes, we would like to invite you, given that we cannot meet in person, to come and virtually meet the people that are involved in these branches and to hear from them the work that they do and have done over the years to maintain and sustain our Irish cultural heritage. We start with the Nottingham branch, and it's introduced by Jim Hickey, their treasurer. Geographically, Nottingham is the most northerly city in our Midland region.
I'm Jim Hickey. I am the treasurer for the Nottingham branch of Comhaltas. I was chairman when we celebrated our 40th anniversary with quite a nice large party in Ceilidh, ironically held at the Nottingham Polish Centre, to which a lot of people across the Midland region came, and we thank them for their support. I became a member in 1997 and became chairman of the branch in 2002 and was chairman for 14 or 15 years and then became treasurer. During the time that I've been chairman, we've had quite a few people who've qualified to play in the All-Ireland Fleadh, which really is the pinnacle, as far as I can see, of Irish traditional music. Our first Ceilidh band qualify, which happened in the first year that I was chairman, and we've had, I think, two or three junior Ceilidh bands qualify since then. I joined Comhaltas at the suggestion of my father, who was already a member. My son had recently taken up playing or having violin lessons. And he said, why doesn't he come along and he can learn some Irish music, get in touch with his heritage. Within about 6 weeks I was bringing 2 of my own children and 2 nieces down, and my dad had gone off somewhere to... so he left me to it, yeah. You basically get roped in and then you spend 20, 30 years trying to escape. the next best thing for me was my daughter. She plays the harp, and we were at the All Britain Championships in Liverpool, I think it was, just north of Liverpool. She won the All Britain that year.
I joined the branch in 1977, and I joined a vibrant branch at that particular time. It'd only been going 2 years, but it was actually very spirited, and we met in the same place here at the Irish Centre. A lot of families were involved in those days. There was the Cronins, there was the Stanleys, the Murphys. They're all people that people will know here in the city. And of course, Eddie O'Donnell, who's here today, his father and his uncle and his brother and his nephew were all heavily involved. So it was a real family event. Well, I mean, the O'Donnell family, as you can see, Eddie O'Donnell in particular, has sort of like been the stalwarts. But there's Patsy Greeny here now, whose children were here. The Murphy family who were here. There was the Gibney family who were here. All families who, in their time, actually came through the process, as it were. And now, of course, we've got the young families coming now that are benefiting from that sort of like inspiration that's there, and it just feeds its way through. There's some lovely young musicians here now, quite a few school of Baran players. Obviously they're looking for tin whistle players and fiddle players as well. With the Nottingham branch in the last few years, I think the main things that we have is the featuring at the Nottingham St Patrick's Day Festival and Parade. When you hear all those musicians up on the stage, that's our own homegrown music. It brings the life back to the city again to say, hey, the culture hasn't been forgotten. It's still with us. You just need to come down and participate and either learn an instrument or even feed in, because as you saw there today, there was a lady joined us who we don't know, but she was welcomed. She played the accordion, beautiful musician, and that's the sort of connectivity that we want, going forward, because the elder members of the community of the branch feed into the younger members in terms of inspiration. So that's where we're at, basically. So I would say the Nottingham St Patrick's Day Festival in the last 2 years has been the mainstay, but we do have, of course, the concert tour that comes around every 2 years or so. There is a group now in the city called the Irish Traditional session group, and they meet every Sunday and Thursday night. But the Irish Centre itself and the young musicians that are here have got terrific esteem. I mean, a lot of those musicians spent some time down here with the Comhaltas, learnt their way of doing things, and then have moved out of the Comhaltas fraternity, as it were, but taken their knowledge with them and spread the Irish culture even further to fields that we just don't even know. I had a very interesting email sent to me personally about 2 years ago, and it was from a mother whose son I knew from when he was a little lad of about 4, and when he came with his sister who played the tin whistle, I showed him how to play the baran, and little knowing where that was ever going to take, the family then moved back to Ireland. But the upshot of it is he's now become a member of the Royal Music Association here in Great Britain and in Ireland, and he's an exponent now of percussion instruments. He wrote this little piece saying he remembers the first day that he picked up a baran and was shown a beater and how to play. You know, so you just never know where it leads to, but it gives you that sort of like knowledge that it is worthwhile to keep our culture going, because it's in our blood, it's in our psyche, and it's about spreading the word, basically. I would say the thing about this, music is in us all. It speaks its own language. If you can dance, if you can sing, if you can play a tune, then it leads you into a new world that actually brings people together. And it's that social connectivity that's so important, to reflect where you came from and hopefully where you're going to, you know. And it brings the world together, which is really what everyone wants. Certainly in COVID days, you know. I mean, because of the social isolation that we have, it brings us sort of like an inspiration, a comfort to people just when they need it most, basically.
I think the Nottingham branch is one big family, but there are groups of families within it as well. When my 2 older children were playing, there were other families with children of the same age. So we had 5 or 6 families with 2 or 3 children in it, and they were all together, which was why we had the chance of putting together, you know, junior ceilidh bands, because we had enough. A lot of our members go out and play in sessions all the way around Nottingham. Members of those sessions aren't members of Comhaltas, but at least we're spreading the word into it that we exist.
With the modern technology now, just type into Google Irish music in Nottingham. I would be very surprised if Comhaltas doesn't come up in a high ranking, along with the Irish traditional group. Every one of them sort of signposts it to it, you know, to what is available. And I was just talking to Jim there earlier on and saying the Irish Centre itself is now developing its website, and we're trying to use it as a portal to connect people to different opportunities and experiences that they can get involved in to maybe bring an enrichment to their own lives. And hopefully maybe just if you only get one person that does that, it spreads the word. And it's amazing what can actually happen. So yeah, the future we believe is bright, but it's a question of how we bring people together in this new world so as to fulfill that aspirational inner desire and need to have music, to have contact with people, and to have the crack.
the branches being reasonably successful, we would always hope to be more successful, and to do that we have to reach out and pick up more people to come in and play. We need people to not only be playing but be teaching. Anybody that wants to play, come along and see us. You don't have to have played Irish music before. You don't even have to be Irish or fourth, fifth or sixth generation Irish. You just really want to like the music. So come along and give it a go. We're not going to turn anybody away.
We continue now with the Cambridge branch, whose chair is Kathleen Collins. Cambridge is in the very east of our region, the famous university city that has a long 30-year history with Comhaltas.
Our branch was founded in 1992. We all know that Cambridge was recognised as a centre of academic excellence, a seat of learning, and we feel we have our seats of learning traditional Irish music. Over the 30 years, we have done lots of different things. We've been a vibrant and active branch and have been involved in many things in the city. Some Irish students at the university set about forming the first ever Cambridge University Irish Society, which was inaugurated in 2004 with a visit from the Irish President Mary McAleese and her husband in the Great Hall of King's College. Our members have also been invited to play at various events at the Irish Embassy in London and joined with musicians from other branches to provide authentic traditional Irish music, dance and song for guests from many other nations. It was interesting that in 2007, when smoking was forbidden in pubs and hostelries, that our branch membership increased tenfold. We had more and more children coming to learn when their parents felt they were in a smoke-free environment. We have had a lot of excellent teachers, and they have been instrumental in making our branch what it is. Comhaltas is, of course, an organisation for the promotion of traditional Irish music, song, dance and Irish culture, and we have tried to do this over the years.
Agus rinne mische klas die waki dona red Sin tarna klas ja an ostelene An trio klas nirvado bakala muskin Ze viniki ban a kahu do ra moile Serena var
Being a member of Comhaltas brought me some introductions to some wonderful musicians, some wonderful friends, some wonderful people, and lifelong friendships there. Great experiences, both on the session nights and the various flaths that we run or we go to. I think it reminds people of the warmth and the soul of Irish people. It shows them the softness and the openness that they have. And Irish music is not just for Irish people, it's for anyone. We get the Irish language across, we get our social viewpoints, family orientated. We think a lot about the education of children and the well-being of children. We've the best time in the future through those.
Myself and my husband, we joined it and we started music late. We took lessons every week. I started playing the accordion when I was 50 and I really enjoy playing music, learning music, and I have lessons every week. Before COVID it was face-to-face, and now it's a Zoom. I work for Cambridge University, and people write to me, they hear about Comhaltas and they want to join in. So it's a wonderful way to meet new people. We have visiting scientists come to Cambridge and they join in, play music. We do events for people. We've gone to old folks' homes. We played music for old people, which has been fantastic. We've done St. Patrick's Day outside of Guildhall in Cambridge. That was wonderful. We bring a lot of happiness through the music, so I think people just love the Irish music, and in this country, particularly Cambridge, we have wonderful musicians. Like, we do a session every Thursday in a local pub. Started off with about 10, 12 people, and then it became like an orchestra. They had to give us the whole room, and it became a wonderful session for people that would travel from London to come to Cambridge to play.
I joined the Cambridge Comhaltas branch probably 10 years or so ago, and was struck by the vibrant community that we had there, with lots of children all learning their instruments. I took up the Irish drum, the bodhrán, myself to be part of this community. Myself and my wife have been playing for about 12 years or so now. I now teach to some of the newer people coming into the group, both children and older adults, and try and encourage people to participate, because I feel that's what it's really all about, is participating. It doesn't matter what level you're at, and that's why so many of them stay until they're, well into their adulthood, and some of them have made careers out of the music, which is great. Comhaltas, the organisation, does hold an annual competition in which we try and encourage all children to get involved with, and adults. It's good for them to perform in front of others. We have had some real quality individuals go through the club, with 2, I think, All-Ireland winners. It's a real mark of the dedication, really, of some of the quality teachers that we have had through the years at the club. So let's hope there's a few more to come.
Our Cambridge branch is well known for the welcome that it extends to everybody, musicians, visitors, anybody interested in traditional culture of Ireland. We welcome them all. Thank you for joining us today, and I do hope you've enjoyed the music from our Cambridge Comhaltas branch.